Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Hawk Talk. Jack Benedict here with Coach Tom McConnell. Joe Lombardi will be along a little bit later on, and we're going to talk IUP basketball for the next hour. I want to remind you, you can catch us on the radio at 92.5 and U92radio.com, and, of course, on the U92 Facebook page. We're live on YouTube as we get it going after a busy week of basketball right next door over here at the KCAC, the PSAC crossover weekend. Coach, got to have you along. It was a one-on-one weekend for you this time, and the games were certainly different, weren't they?
Yep, two really good teams, top two teams in the East were in here this weekend, and very competitive games, and I think we learned a lot about ourselves. We played two excellent teams, two well-coached teams, and just really proud of our team for the way they fought all weekend long, and in particular how they bounced back on Sunday against a good Shippensburg team.
Yeah. Now, for the fans, you fans maybe had been out of town, the Shepherd game was a 67 to 58 game. 9-point difference there, but you had a lot of catching up to do in that particular game, and unlike what was it, Westchester, when you were 19 back, you had a lot of work to do in that fourth quarter. But just give me a little idea of what was we thought, a really good Shepherd team, and we knew that going in.
Yeah, they have three really good players that can score the basketball. A point guard in Abby Beeman that can control the game. She can shoot the three. She, gets in the lane off the bounce. She's really good at finishing. And, Marley McLaughlin is a wing, can really shoot the basketball. And then Clayton, their inside player, just a terrific scorer around the rim, can finish. And it makes them really dangerous. Those three scored all of their points but 8. And so our game plan, knowing that going in, was to try to make the other players beat us. We helped off of certain players, tried to deny them the basketball. And, at the end of the first quarter, things were going according to plan. They had they only scored 11, first quarter points, and then it kind of just got away from us. They were just able to create some opportunities for those players. And then, unfortunately for us, we struggled to score the ball at that time. In those to that second and third quarter, we dug ourselves a big hole. But a lot of credit to our players in the fourth quarter. We were forced to, and we haven't done it much. It's we're more of a contain, build the wall, defense that tries to make everything go over top of us and make things difficult. But we were forced to trap and extend, and our players brought a lot of energy, and we're able to get some steals and quick scores, and get us back in the game a little bit, and just really proud of them for their effort, trying to make that comeback.
Yeah. You and I had talked after the game about the fact you bringing it up. They just did not quit. So at halftime, you're down 34-22. What was your approach?
Well, you want to, when you get down like that, when you have that 12-point deficit, you don't want to try to get it back all at once. You don't want the team to try to hurry and rush things and get out of your rhythm. And so you talk about segments of the game. Let's go on and let's win the first 5 minutes of the game, of the second half. And then there's a timeout coming up, and now we talk about that timeout. Let's win the next 5 minutes. And then next thing you know, if you take those small segments, next thing you know, you find yourself back in the game, and it's anybody's game at that point. And so that was kind of the focus, and but we weren't able to stop them in the third quarter like we wanted to, and that's when we were forced to trap and press, and once again, just great energy by our players, just great determination to force the tempo, and we got some turnovers and forced them into some tough shots, and we're able to cut into the lead. I think we got as close as 9 at one point.
Yeah, it's really amazing from game to game how things can change. You couldn't make trays one day, and the next day It was almost like you couldn't miss, led by Courtney Alexander. But you came back, of course, and beat a Shippensburg team 79-46. It was just the numbers were just out of this world, weren't they? I mean, it seemed like 81% shooting for a half.
Yeah, amazing. And I just really credit our players and thankful for their focus and their response. I really think it says a lot about them, the way they bounce back. Those crossover games, there's not much turnaround time. And so we really talked about trying to, let's put yesterday behind us and let's really focus on what we can control right now. And I thought our players did an amazing job of really being focused. And, whenever you have those quick turnarounds like that, we knew it was going to take a great effort on the parts of a lot of players. Mm-hmm. Well, you can't do it with just 3 or 4. It's a lot of players. And I thought that first half against Shippensburg was probably our best half of team basketball. As a coach, you just love that. You can't ask for any more, Jack, when you see players all contributing in different ways. And it was just great to see. And so, that's one of the things I think that I'm really thankful for with our players and really just most proud of.
And when we talk about that, we talk about the bench.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everybody chipping in. Wow, you need that. You've had it on occasion in some of the games, but everything was going. Everything was going.
Yeah, and that's what's so great about it is when you get those contributions and, it's 8, 9, 10 players that are all making positive contributions and, everything's they're making shots. When you're making shots, everything
looks good.
Looks
it?
good. Yeah, it works.
The three ball really changed the game from the standpoint it can be all or nothing at all.
Yep.
Somebody had sent this and said, ask the coaches. This is from a fan. They had texted this to me, wanted me to ask about what strategy did you employ to free up Courtney, of course, who set a record with her 9 trays in the game, broke her own record, and also Wareham. So how do you approach that?
Well, a couple things factored in. In the first half, they were playing a lot of man-to-man. And so we've been very intentional of trying to create scoring opportunities for Courtney. We don't just let it come within the flow of the game. And so that's one factor. The second factor would be I think her teammates did a great job of finding her in the half court and in the open floor. I thought, Maria, Kiera Bachman, Justina, everybody kind of just, when she was open, we want to give her the ball. And then the third thing that happened was a factor was they had several injuries that they experienced. And so as a result, in the second half, they came out in a zone. And so in the zone now more it's just finding the gaps and finding the daylight against the zone and, getting to the right spots. And Courtney has such a quick release that it doesn't take long or she doesn't need much space to get her shot off. And once she gets in a rhythm, watch out. And so it's really fun to watch and see. And this is how oblivious I am to things. I didn't know until they announced it that she broke the record.
Well, we were all following it,
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was an exciting moment, though, when she hit that 9th one. I mean, the bench, they knew it.
I think everybody knew but me.
Everybody.
Because Ryan Rebels, our sports information director, had kept our assistant coaches apprised of what was going on. And I think if I would have tried to take her out at any point in time, the assistants would have let me know.
Yeah, right away.
But just really happy for her.
We have a video of it.
Yeah, let's take a look.
John put together.
See, those against the zone. We went inside to Mora or Justina, and then outside to, and that's where you want your threes to come from a lot of the times, is to be able to go inside and outside.
Yeah, that was right in front of you.
Yeah. And then I saw the reaction of everybody and heard the announcement.
You thought something must have happened.
Yeah, this is great. This is great. I'm the last to know. But I have 2 thoughts when we talk about that. One is so happy for her, and just amazing story and how she's sacrificed and has worked and has persevered. And
Yeah, you can explain that because maybe I think a lot of the fans know her story where she's had to come back from injury, but it's a tough situation.
It's been less than a year ago where she tore her ACL and has worked really hard to come back. But last year when COVID hit, she wasn't sure if she was going to come back, and really took her time and was very thoughtful and prayerful about it and decided to come back. She just loves IUP and just loved their experience. And so then the injury happened, and you just wonder, will she be herself? And I think the answer is a resounding yes.
Oh, yes.
So
yeah.
anytime you see somebody, a young person especially, overcome challenges and obstacles and be able to accomplish some of the things that they set out to do, it's a very special feeling. But my other thought was I immediately went to Marina Wareham.
Well, I was going to follow.
Who I absolutely love, and just loved coaching, and I know our fans, feel the same way. She's just a very special player, and I thought about her and the time with her, and I reflect back on that game and that experience, and so I know if she were here tonight, she would tip her hat to Courtney.
Well, my question was going to be, did you hear from her or not?
I did not.
You did not.
And
Okay.
at some point, I'm going to reach out to her. I just thought I'd give her a day or two.
She may be watching this somewhere. Who knows?
Let's hope. Let's hope.
I'm not sure where she is now, but and I think that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's UPJ here at the KCAC.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe it's that long ago. But of course, Courtney had tied the record early in the year with 8. And then came about with her big night there, but it takes everybody, and we see it with both the men's and women's teams here. We have a lot of unselfish players, thank goodness, or else you wouldn't be in with records that you are.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly right. It's when one boat rises, it rises everybody else's boat, and we have a very unselfish team, and I think you saw the reaction on the screen that John put the clip up there of her. The players on her team were just genuinely excited for her, and that's why I think we love coaching this team as a staff. They just really pull for one another.
So we talked earlier about halftime speeches, like if you're behind, but when you're ahead 53-24, what do you say?
Well, you really focus on ignoring the score and just playing the game against yourself. You don't, and we talked about it. We want to be the type of team that whether you're down by 12 at halftime, who lets up or plays a certain way. It can't look any different whether you're down or you're up. Shots may not fall, but the effort, the execution, you want that to be the same regardless of the score. And so that's kind of what we talked about, just being consistent, playing hard, ignore the score, and just play, because you're really playing hopefully against a faceless opponent, and you are trying to execute what you do and play the best that you can be and be the best version of you. Mm-hmm. And obviously the opponent has something to say about that.
You brought up the fact, too, Shippensburg was playing without their star player, Ariel Jones. I got a chance to go over before the game and sit with her on the bench there and just talk to her a little bit. Like Shondell, she's out for the year. She's going to come back. She recently went over 2,000 points, and they have 4 players in their history in Shippensburg that's gone over 2,000 points. And their coach, Christy Turn, came by. And so she was right there, and I saw her play, whenever way back when. And she said if it weren't for an injury when she was a freshman, she would have had 2,000.
Is that right?
And she was a heck of a player, too.
She was.
But but I think the other point is when Destiny Jefferson, who picked up the slack point guard, and she got injured, well, that changed the whole thing.
It did, and that's when they went to the zone and tried to just, pack it in and just, contain and make them beat us, make us beat them from the outside.
Then on the other hand, here's Shepherd, and they look and say, boy, this is the team to beat. And what happens the next day?
Yeah,
they lose.
That's PSAC basketball, and you just, especially on the second day of these crossover games, you just you got to be able to go deep into your bench, and it takes a great resiliency to put that first game behind you with that quick turnaround and come back and ready to play the next game. And so, anything can happen on any given night, and then especially on a second day of a crossover game.
All right, we're going to be back with Coach Tom McConnell in just a moment. His team is 10-1 and 4-1 in the West, and they're on a break right now. Won't play until January. We'll tell you about that a little bit later on. So we'll come back with Hawk Talk and coming your way right after we take this time out.
Everyone, this is Ryan at Four Wheeling for Less, your local ATV and side-by-side dealership. We specialize in buying, selling, and servicing all major makes and models. In our sales department, we offer financing, warranties, and purchase appraisals. Our service department will keep you up and running for your next adventure, and our parts and accessories department can help you find whatever you're looking for. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, trade, or get service work done, visit our website, give us a call, or stop by today.
The Co-op store has the largest selection of IUP gifts and apparel. The Co-op is always there with its convenient location and hours. The Co-op store has been serving IUP and the Indiana community since 1933, and all profits are returned to the students through campus programs and activities. The Co-op has all your campus needs from the dorm to the classroom. Visit us online at www.iupstore.com.
I'm with the voice of the IUP Crimson Hawks, Jack Benedict. And Jack, finally, you will be back in the booth broadcasting the Hawks. How good does that feel?
Mark, I'll tell you what, I can't wait. It is about to the Hilton Garden Inn. Jack Benedict here with Hawk Talk with Coach Tom McConnell, the IUP women's basketball team. A couple of questions here from the fans. We have another one here. How different is it playing without students here? Because they add so much to it, but there's a big lapse there,
Without question. And I think it's human nature. Like last year we did several scrimmages in the COVID year without fans in the building. And you have to kind of manufacture, your own energy and stay focused and that kind of thing. And so we have not only a great place to play, but we have great fans. And from our community, from the students, and when they're not there, something's missing. There's that. The players feed off that. They love it when their friends and are there, who are on campus with them and go to class with them, and it just adds an extra energy to the building. And so you really try to just focus on manufacturing your own energy, in the building. Staying focused and do the best you can with it. But we'll play several games between now and when second semester begins without our students here. And so I think our veteran players are used to it now, and they get it, they understand it. But it definitely is different when they're not there.
Well, I would think it would be a lot tougher for freshmen. Redshirt freshmen would at least be around for you, but like somebody coming in, somebody that's really talented and plays for you as a freshman, well, this is a different atmosphere totally than high school.
It is, and the other thing that's different for them during the break is not only does the crowd look a little bit different without the students, but they're around a good 4-5 weeks sometimes without classes and without the other students being here. And so it really is a great sacrifice on their part. And we really try to be intentional about keeping them busy, doing things in the community, getting out, and try to keep them, as we talked last week, try to stay on a rhythm. Stay on a rhythm while you're on the break. I think that's very important.
We have another question here from the audience, so to speak. Have you played against a more talented team than Shepherd? Shepherd played tough, physical defense. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, 100%. Whether they're the most talented team, I'm not sure, but I know, boy, they're terrific. They're awfully good, and over the years, we've played some really strong. Oh yes. Whether it be Cal, Gannon, Edinburgh, they're just some really strong teams. But this year's version of Shepherd women's basketball could play with and against anybody that we've competed with. I think in the PSAC or on a national scale.
But what's interesting when we all have this break now, so they actually go into the break with a loss. Fortunately for you, you came back and won. So now you go in with a win. You got a 1-game winning streak going.
Yeah, I think it's really, you feel really good as players and coaches going into the break on a high note.
Yeah.
After a good win, especially a win against a very good team in Ship, and one where you got great contributions from a lot of people, and so it's just a great way to go into the break. And we're looking forward to getting everybody back. One of the things that we talk about before the players leave to go home, it's a good 8 days that they're away, and it's well deserved. They've been going at it since early September.
Sure.
And one of the things that we say is, it wouldn't be right for you to go home and pick up a basketball and train and condition every single day. So enjoy this time. Get with your family, your friends. Enjoy Christmas. But on the other side of it is, it wouldn't be right for you to not pick up a basketball and do anything over the break. You got to find a balance. You're a college athlete who has aspirations of competing and challenging at a very high level, and so be smart about it. Return on the 28th, having worked on your game a little bit. Stay sharp, and be ready to go. But really, really enjoy this downtime and just really enjoy the season and with your family and friends.
It's nice for the coaches to get a little mental break too, isn't it?
For sure, absolutely.
Yeah. I got to ask you this about point guards. I know coming into the season you were concerned. Fans were concerned. Maria Ciro came along. Boy, she looks like a different player. Now you've got freshmen coming in, Kara Bachman coming in, playing sometimes maybe equal minutes. We continue to utilize that type of situation. You have it where maybe somebody has the hot hand, but is it more beneficial to the team to play them that way?
For now it is, and I think eventually, and I think you will see this year, we'd love to be able to play them together, and I think they can complement each other very well. Maria just does a great job of handling the basketball, finding the open man, uses ball screens, just really does a really good job of, running the team, and just really couldn't be happier, as we talked last week, for her and her development. And nobody's worked harder, Jack. She just is phenomenal. She just loves to work. She gets in the gym, and you could just see her growing and being more and more confident each time we take the floor. But Kiera shoots the ball really well, has a scorer's mentality, and so I think there's a place and time, and I think you'll see this evolve more and more as we go throughout the year, that they'll play alongside each other.
That's an interesting point, though, you bring up. I mean, think about that, having been at the same time.
Yeah, I think we definitely want to do that.
Yeah, that we'll have to look forward to that. You mentioned about the time that you have, that everybody has off now. When you get back into action, you're going to go to Cal, you're going to go to Lock Haven. That first week are 2 away games. Cal right now is 8-1. Lock Haven's 4-3. Lock Haven, both their teams, as a matter of fact, are very representative, right? A little above or a little below the 500 mark. Usually they're not as good. And preparation for away games is, I don't know if it's any different, but it's definitely tougher, though, isn't it?
Well, when you come back from a break, to have your first 2 on the road, to be able to travel, presents a challenge. You have to be ready. And I think with the experience of Maura, Justina, Courtney, Tierra, Regia, Elena, Michaela, these veteran players, that they are up to the challenge. They know what it entails. And so I think our team relishes the idea of going on the road and playing good basketball and really rallying together. I think we're excited about the opportunity, and we're just really looking forward. The good thing is that you have enough time when they come back to really focus on you for the first part of their return. And then you have enough time once the new year rolls in to now start focusing on scouting reports, and in particular who you're going to be playing.
It's always interesting. Fans love recruiting who's coming, this and that, and so on. And we heard recently, and of course, Hope Cook said that she's coming over to play for you guys and stay at home, play at IUP. She committed quite a while ago. And, of course, she's a senior now in high school. So you got to be looking forward to those players who I've heard other names. I don't know who's all committed and so on. But that's got to be an interesting part of your job, I would think. I would think that would be fun.
At times.
but challenging would be the word.
Yeah, no,
it?
very, very challenging. But you're right. And the fun part is I really love the opportunity during the process to get to know the players and to get to know their families. And to be here at IUP, to be able to talk about our community, our school, academically, what we have to offer, the basketball program, that's a privilege and an honor to be able to share that with other families. And so I do really much enjoy that part of the process. So, we signed 4 players early, all freshmen. You mentioned Hope. She's off to a good start. Had a chance to see their opening game, and they had a real nice win. And so, glad to see them doing well. And Grace Spadaro from Southmoreland will be joining us. Anna Rafferty from Latrobe, and Danielle Shaughnessy from Villa Maria, home of Jean A. Brooks.
Yes, yeah.
So one of the stronger programs in all of Pennsylvania.
It's been good for years.
Yeah, very good. So, we're excited about those 4 and looking forward to getting them here and hoping that they have a great senior year. But we're, if the opportunity presents itself in the late signing period, we'd love to, sign 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, maybe, and you never know about the waiver wire that you talk about all the time. Well, I have another question for you just before we close it out here, and Coach Lombardi on deck. Most surprising or disappointing team in the West so far? Any answer on that?
Well, you know what I'm going to say. I mean, we talked last week about this, and
we talked about everything.
No, we did, and I told you. You know way more about this than I do. I am like this, and I mean it.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah, you told me a couple teams' records just a few minutes ago. You mentioned their records. I had no idea what their records were. So who's a surprise? Who's not a surprise? You have to answer that one. I don't know.
I think I brought up the fact that the Slippery Rock program has not been strong for quite a while, but you had told me, if I remember correctly, that they've been together, and this isn't a surprise to you that they're playing that well, that they have some people.
Well, we had a chance to scrimmage them last year, and Bobby does a great job. I mean, they play so hard, and so we had a chance to see how good they could be. They've got a couple really strong guards, but. Yeah, so I couldn't be happier for him. I know it's a rival, but he's a friend, and I root for him when we're not playing him, and I'm glad to see.
Well, he's a great guy.
See him doing well.
Yeah, he was in that program for a long time. Yeah. Wasn't he a former state trooper?
Yes, he was,
yeah.
And then he was on the men's side at Slippery Rock.
Yes,
moved over to the women's side, and then now he's had this opportunity to be the head coach. And when this opportunity came along, he decided to step away from being a state trooper.
Yeah. Well, we enjoy it so much. The women will be playing at Cal 5:30, January 5 when we get back, and then Lock Haven that Saturday. The games are at 5:30, and in between time, your wonderful family enjoy all these holiday festivities. Keep focused on what's ahead, though, now.
You too, Jack. I wish you and your family the best. Hope you have a great Christmas.
All right, very good. We'll be back. That's the women's side of things, and we have Coach Lombardi here, and we'll talk about the men in just a moment. We call it Hawk Talk, and we're coming to you live right here from the Hilton Garden Inn.
Hi, this is Zach, and welcome to Gingerbread Man Running Company, proudly located in the heart of Indiana on Philadelphia Street since 2009. We offer the top models from the best brands of running and walking shoes. Stop in today for your free gait analysis from our expertly trained staff. We are happy to help solve any foot or shoe issue you may have. Please visit our website for more information. Gingerbread Man Running. Catch us if you can.
Hey everyone, this is Ryan at Four Wheeling for Less, your local ATV and side-by-side dealership. We specialize in buying, selling, and servicing all major makes and models. In our sales department, we offer financing, warranties, and purchase appraisals. Our service department will keep you up and running for your next adventure, and our parts and accessories department can help you find whatever you're looking for. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, trade, or get service work done, visit our website, give us a call, or stop by today.
The Co-op store has the largest selection of IUP gifts and apparel. The Co-op is always there with its convenient location and hours. The Co-op store has been serving IUP and the Indiana community since 1933, and all profits are returned to the students through campus programs and activities. The Co-op has all your campus needs from the dorm to the classroom. Visit us online at www.iupstore.com.
I'm with the voice of the IUP Crimson Hawks, Jack Benedict. And Jack, finally, you will be back in the booth broadcasting the Hawks. How good does that feel?
Mark, I'll tell you what, I can't wait. It is about time that I get back there.
And we'd like to invite your business.
We're at Hawk Talk, and we're here live at the Hilton Garden Inn. Coach Joe Lombardi, now taking over from Coach McConnell. He got an assist. Make it in the hoop, would you? I mean,
He passed it ahead to me, huh?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good assist man.
Yeah, good assist man. Great to have you with us, Coach. As I talked with Tom, and the same for you guys, it was quite a weekend. I mean, the games were different types of games. The team now is 9-1, 4-1 in the West. The Shepherd game was 63-49. This is for you fans maybe who have been out of town this weekend and maybe didn't catch up. And then they lost to Shippensburg 72-60. Some thoughts about the entire weekend in itself. I'm sure you've grasped it now after we played the 2 days.
It was more of a week. We had a 3-game stretch, and it's the first time coming back and after Shondale, after a long break. Okay, we had an 8-day break, and we're learning about ourselves, and we're trying to grow. I had an idea who we were with Shondale, and sometimes you have a vision for what you want your team to be, and the vision kind of gets played out, and it was getting played out. And now without him, you got to create a new vision. It's just not a situation where you just plug someone in. We don't have anybody that caliber or close to that to plug in. So you have to become, you're going to be different. We're not going to score 95 a game, okay? And then there's reasons for that. You're not going to play as fast. We press some more, which eats up some clock sometime, okay? Mm-hmm. There's reasons we're not going to play that way, but I think we're capable of getting 80 when we go out and play, but people moving up, they're getting more. Some guys are getting more minutes. Some guys are getting are looked upon to score some more without Shondale in there, and they got to feel their way through it. It's not seamless. They got to feel their way through it. They got to grow in that role. They got to get some confidence. It's one thing to go through it, then you got to get confidence. So it's been a week. It's been a week since they had that new experience, so to speak. Okay, mm-hmm. And then the guys that have been playing, their roles change a little bit. Some of them have to do a little more, and they're trying to figure out what's a little more. What's a little more? Mm-hmm. Okay, mm-hmm. And we got to work through that, Jack. Okay. Some guys think a little more is a lot more, and again, it's just role. It's just adapting to different roles, different responsibilities, and me as a coach, I'm learning. I got to, looking back over the week, I got to do a better job. I got to do a better job identifying what our strengths and weaknesses are, and how we can get better with the guys that we kind of have on the floor and have to play. With Shondale, you're able to play fast. He was probably the best open court scorer in Division II, okay? You throw the ball ahead and you play fast. Everybody doesn't have that ability, okay? He was a unique breed along that way. So now all of a sudden, okay, let's not throw it ahead as much. Let's not try to do that, because if we try to do that, we're going to fail, mm-hmm. So let's play this way or play that way. So all in all, in the 3 games, I like to look at the 3 games here, the 3 games that we had, okay?
The Millersville game.
Yeah, I thought we competed well in the Millersville game. So, I'm happy with the way the week went, the way we played. I mean, we do want to win them all. Everybody knows that. But Sometimes, as I mentioned yesterday, Shippensburg really played well.
They did.
It's going to be one of their 2 or 3 best games of the year. It's their best game so far, okay? And I don't think Chris would dispute that. It's the best 2 or 3 games of the year. And 4 minutes to go, we're down 4 points, and we had some opportunities to kind of steal it, grab it. Didn't make enough plays to do that. And then sometimes you win games where, as I said last night, you're stinky. The other team's just stinkier. Okay?
Yeah, I had to think about that word. I knew you created a new word.
So
stinkier.
So you deal with that. You deal with that, and then sometimes you're good. You might play good, and the other team just plays a little better that night. So they're talented. They're an NCAA team. They're going to be there at the end of the year.
Well, they got their star back, and so, Biss. And here's the thing, too. You had talked about it. I had brought it up on the air. They weren't shooting well as a team, 30% coming in. And, they got their star back, and they were hitting the threes.
They made a season high, 12 out of 26 threes. And I think a lot of them were guarded. But we have areas we got to improve on, too. So, you know what? I told the guys after the game, humility helps you grow. Humility helps you grow. Failure helps you grow. You probably grow the most in life when you have adversity, disappointment, okay, as a person. And you grow the most as a player when you have adversity and disappointment. Because you start spreading your wings. You can get intoxicated by success, okay? It's human nature. And, maybe you don't work as hard. Maybe you don't listen as much, okay? Mm-hmm. You don't listen to anybody when you're successful. You think you have it figured out. And then when you fail, then all of a sudden you're looking around for answers, okay? Mm-hmm. It's no different. I'm the same way, okay? I'm not just speaking to the kids. I'm the same way. When everything's going good, you're kind of like, I got this, all right? So there's opportunity for growth for us. It comes at a good time, where we have number of days of practice before we get into the meat of the schedule. Yeah. And I think our guys will grow from it. I think they'll learn from it. What do we win at home? How many straight, Jack? You think sometimes you think you put on the light uniforms. How many?
Yeah, 24.
24. So over 2 years, you think you put on the lights, and you kind of win. That becomes human nature. Yeah. So with 5 new guys, yesterday we played 9 guys, and 5 of them, it's their first year playing college basketball.
That's amazing.
So it's their first year playing college basketball at any level. They didn't play junior college. Okay, they just they didn't transfer. They're just 5 freshmen. And they're not all freshmen because of COVID and everything else. Okay, red shirts and stuff. But for them to get into that game and it was probably they're not as confident as it will be the next time they have that situation.
Well, and you've had to use a true freshman in Dallas, Dillard. I was going to ask you, you had brought up about how they've had to adapt. How about you? From the standpoint, have you had this challenge? I'm thinking back over the years you've been at IUP about having to make a transition on your own because, well, here the situation was you lose one of your star players. And, we talked about Devon Driz, Cottrell years ago went down and so on, but
his role was a little easier to fill.
Yeah, well, Shondell does a little bit of everything for you.
Yeah. His role was a little easier to fill, and we had some other because Driz wasn't a big scorer. He played good defense, and rebounded.
Oh yeah,
but the scoring part of it, is a little bit harder. But we have some guys that'll get there. Armani, he's been banged up the last couple of weeks. Okay, didn't miss a number of practices. Okay, 3 or 4 practices where he just didn't do anything, and he had an ankle issue, and before that, his shoulder issue, and so we've been babying that.
Well, he's got that. It's not a brace, but a little support on his ankle. I saw.
That stuff will get. That stuff catches up with you.
Yeah.
Tommy missed the day of practice. We had 2 days of practice before this weekend. He missed a day of practice with contusion on his inner leg or something like that. I don't even know. I don't. Robbie either tells me they can go or they can. I don't. I try not to pay much attention to them.
Well, you got to go to the trainer. What they say, huh?
I got to, because you know what? I got to focus on the guys that are ready to practice today and ready to get better. So, it's probably the most first-year guys that we've ever had in our rotation. But, But I'm confident they'll get better. They're just not ready for every situation right now.
Yeah. Here's a question that was posed to me by a fan.
Yeah.
Let me pass along.
Sure.
Ship's defense caused problems for both Armandi and Tommy. What in particular were they doing to keep them in check?
Well, when we played Illinois, we were concerned about their point guard getting in the paint, and we were concerned about their big guy, Kofi, scoring in the paint.
All-American.
Yeah. So we packed the paint, and we told some of the other guys, you can go ahead and shoot. All right? Well, Ship kind of did the same thing to us. Okay? Some of the guys, that we have, the younger kids, they identified as not being threats, and they said, we're going to let them beat us. We're not going to let Armani get in the paint. We're not going to let Ethan. We're going to make it tough for Ethan to score in the paint, and we're going to let some other guys shoot. So we have to shoot the ball better. I'm not going to stress that with our guys, okay? Because the more you stress it, it's like saying you got to make your free throws, okay? That's not. I would never recommend that for any high school coach to say that to their players or grade school, okay? But we got to put work in. Guys got to come back. They got to shoot hundreds and thousands of shots during the week, so they shoot them with confidence and they build some consistency. Okay, they have to grow with that. If they don't grow with that, Armani and Ethan aren't going to. We're not going to get a lot of paint touches, and it's going to be harder for them. See, that's the other thing you miss with Shondale. Shondale's not in the game. You don't only miss him scoring, but his man's playing closer into the lane, a little tighter, and helps out and double teams more, okay? And what they're saying is we're going to give that kid a shot, that other kid. This ain't Shondale. If it's Shondale, we're going to be out there. If it's not Shondale, we're going to give that kid a shot. So it makes the game becomes harder on the other guys that are playing too. Mm-hmm. So, but it's just stuff, again, it's stuff you got to work through, and they got to work. If we don't, as a whole, if we don't shoot the ball better than whatever we shot last night, 6 out of 26, okay, we could still win some games, but we better be great on D, and we weren't great on D either, Jack. I don't know if that answers the question that you asked. But
yeah, it does. It does. That's all part of the equation, I think. Yeah. And then you had to adjust, and these are not excuses, but facts. You had to adjust with Kyle getting 2 fouls early.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you had to go to the bench maybe earlier than you wanted to.
Him, Dallas, and KJ are going to, whoever practices well, it's going to be a revolving door with those three. Whoever practices well, whoever can get in the game and play well is going to play more. And if you don't play well, you're going to play less. It's not about that's going to be the reality of it. Maybe that puts pressure on them. Maybe that makes them uncomfortable. But if that's putting pressure on them, uncomfortable, they're probably not going to have what it takes to win for us anyway. So they just got to go out and compete and work on getting comfortable, knocking down wide open shots. Because I thought Armani passed the ball extremely well in the first half last night, we didn't convert on as many things as we needed to. And part of that was the lane was crowded, and part of that was we just couldn't get comfortable shooting the ball.
One of the other players that you used more yesterday was KJ Rhodes.
Yeah.
What kind of a role can he play? What kind of a player is he? We haven't seen enough of him yet.
Well, I don't know if there's any one thing that he stands out and does other than he just plays hard. And you saw we got an offensive rebound and put it back in.
Yeah.
He plays with a lot of heart and 100% energy. And you're saying, well, that's not a talent. Well, no, that is a talent. Because we got some other guys that were out there that have more skill, okay, but they don't go to the glass every time. They don't do the little effort plays that we need, and they have to learn at this level. You might not have done it in high school or AAU, okay, but you're with the big boys now, okay, and you got to learn how to play physical, how to play tough, how to compete on every possession, okay. Shot goes up, you're 25 feet from the bucket. You know what? You can still run in. You might not get to the rim, but you can run into the lane. Or you could stand there and act like I'm getting back on D, which is not your job at this point, okay? Your first job is to run in. So, but again, Jack, some of these are habits, okay? KJ's built a habit of doing that and competing and playing hard. So that's what he brings to us, okay? Mm-hmm. He brings to us. He can be a good shooter. He puts a lot of time in it. He's got to find his confidence. It's nice for a coach to say to everybody, we're going to get you 15 shots tonight, son. Well, I really believe in you, okay? But you know what? You can't do that, Jack.
I never had 15 shots in a season.
Well, you might be able to do that to one or two guys, okay? But the rest of them, you just got to find them where they find them. And it's like this. I tell people all the time, Most high school players have played with a green light in high school, okay? You're the guy. You're the man on our team, okay? It's okay. If you miss 5 in a row, keep shooting, okay? And they're good. They could be good at that. But not everybody gets that opportunity at the college level. You got to learn how to play with a yellow light. So Johnny might be better with the green light than Joey with the green light, but Joey's better, knows how to play with a yellow light than Johnny is, and that's what Kyle is. Kyle, I think, does a good job of understanding how to play with a yellow light, which means you can't, you're not getting 15 shots a game. You're going to pick and choose and get a couple, and then when he does get them, I think he plays with confidence.
Yeah, I like the names you picked too, Joey and Johnny. It's me.
I forget. Johnny, I thought you were Jack.
That's just for people, just for people like you that know me well. Yeah. Okay, we'll be back. We're having fun here with Coach Lombardi, and we're finding out about the Crimson Hawks and, of course, the break. And they will play a game before next year, and we'll tell you about that too. We come back with Coach Joe Lombardi. It's Hawk Talk. We're coming to you live from the Hilton Garden Inn. Be back right after this timeout.
The Co-op store has the largest selection of IUP gifts and apparel. The Co-op is always there with its convenient location and hours. The Co-op store has been serving IUP and the Indiana community since 1933, and all profits are returned to the students through campus programs and activities. The Co-op has all your campus needs from the dorm to the classroom. Visit us online at www.iupstore.com.
Everyone, this is Ryan at Four Wheeling for Less, your local ATV and side-by-side dealership. We specialize in buying, selling, and servicing all major makes and models. In our sales department, we offer financing, warranties, and purchase appraisals. Our service department will keep you up and running for your next adventure, and our parts and accessories department can help you find whatever you're looking for. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, trade, or get service work done, visit our website, or give us a call, or stop by today.
I'm with the voice of the IUP Crimson Hawks, Jack Benedict. And Jack, finally, you will be back in the booth broadcasting the Hawks.
Welcome back, everybody. We're live here from the Hilton Garden Inn, right next door to the KCAC, where we watched a lot of basketball this weekend with the IUP men's and women's basketball teams. Coach Joe Lombardi is with me. Coach, got a question here from a fan in the audience. Coach fights teams always play IUP tough. Is it because he spent 6 seasons as your assistant and understands your coaching style?
Well, John.
Oh, I got you going now, man.
Yeah, you got me going, Jack. I didn't know you went by John. No, first of all, Chris is a really good coach. He was a good coach when he got here. He helped me become a better coach, so I learned a lot from him when he was here. So that's part of it. Second of all, he's done a great job of getting good players. I mean, they not only play us tough, but they've had a number of 20-win seasons, so they play a lot of other people tough too.
Oh, yeah. I
think the other factor that factors in is he recruits kids from Western PA, and they're a little bit more motivated. They were the hungrier team last night, and you can say, well, how does that happen? How do they hungrier team? Well, when you get smacked like we did, when you smack someone like we did in the conference tournament 2 years ago, okay, those, you want to fight back. That creates hunger, okay? Mm-hmm. And a lot of those kids played in that game and were, kind of felt the brunt of that disappointment, okay? So they smacked us back last night, and they came out with a little bit greater passion. And it wasn't like, I always talk about 212 makes water boil, okay, and moves locomotives, and 211 it's just hot, okay, it doesn't get anything done, okay? Well, we came out 211, 211 and a half. They came out definitely 212, and it's fine margins, but sometimes that makes differences, okay? And then we've seen this so many times in sports where the underdog is able to rise up and make more shots than they normally make night in and night out. Like, we played Illinois tough, okay? It's a 6-point game with 12 minutes to go, okay? Is that because could we do that night in and night out in the Big Ten? No, we can't. We couldn't, okay? But on that given night, there's an energy that comes with challenges and with being the underdog that mm-hmm. You see upsets in college basketball every night. I don't know if you watch sports, okay? What happened to the Arizona Cardinals yesterday with Detroit Lions? How does that happen?
What happened to Mercyhurst?
Yeah. Mercyhurst gets upset by Stroudsburg. After a while, the team that wins gets it harder and harder to get motivated for the next game. Okay, and you're saying, well, they should be motivated every game. Okay, let's go. Human nature. Okay, you got to think about yourself. You know, if you don't eat till 6 o'clock at night, you're hungry. Okay,
Yeah.
But if you eat breakfast, you eat lunch, you eat a snack. Okay, well, come around 6 o'clock, you're not that hungry. So it's all about, you know, it's the same thing that goes with competing and playing basketball. So that's a challenge we face. I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't our guys were excited to play last night, but it wasn't truly our Super Bowl, but it was their Super Bowl, okay? They want to prove, they got something to prove. We didn't recruit a lot of guys for different reasons. Sometimes you just have a position, okay? You don't need a point guard that year, so we don't recruit Biss.
Right, yeah.
Whoever we have, okay? We had Armani, so you don't recruit, Biss, okay?
Sure.
And sometimes you just don't think a guy's a good fit. You think he's going to be a good player, but Carlos is a great example. I mean, he played a wonderful game last night. He's really worked his tail off. Indiana should be proud of him, how he's developed as a player, and not just because he's a good player, but because he's really worked at his craft. Okay, he's dedicated himself. He's disciplined. He's dedicated. He's in there all the time. And when he came out, we just had other players, and it's not like you just stockpile. You only have so many scholarships. Chris had scholarship for him. We didn't need that position at the time.
Sure.
And so he goes, and he's a guy that's gotten a lot better. I don't know if like everybody was in the conference was beating down his door now. Okay, so it's not like everybody thought he was a can't miss player for our conference. So and then. I make mistakes recruiting guys sometimes. So, sometimes I could see things in guys, and people say, well, how'd you see that? He's a lot better. We never thought he was going to be that good. Okay. Say Devontae Chance. Okay. He was just okay when he came in, and he ends up being player of the year in the conference or whatever. Okay.
Oh yeah,
and
great.
People
player.
say, what'd you see? Well, you know what? He worked. He got better. Nobody in the East offered him. We're the only one that offered him any scholarship. Okay. So. A lot of other people missed on that. So sometimes it's just opportunity, and he's had a lot of opportunity at Shippensburg to get better, and he's been well coached. And I'm happy for his success. I wish he wouldn't have played as well as he did last night.
Yeah. Well, listen, there's a guy that you recruited I'm going to talk about, and we have a clip on him, too, that was really solid this weekend. That's Ethan Porterfield. He had double-doubles both days for you. He's a big guy that can do a lot of things, but he come out, shoot that three. John, you have a clip on Ethan this past weekend, and for any fans that were
he's like this
KCAC,
he might be the second-best player ever to come out of Sharon, Jack. Yeah.
Wow, that's the
that was
that's
a big
the
play.
tray and the 4-point. Yeah.
Yeah. You make shots, you get a chance to stay in the game, and if he doesn't make that or you don't make many other ones, then you get trouble.
There are a lot of times you can get him open at the top of the key too. Armani penetrates and kicks it back out, but he was. I mean, was not only solid this weekend. He's been solid from the beginning. So there's a young man that
he does a lot of things.
He's only a sophomore, thank God.
Yeah, we're happy about that. We're happy about that. I don't. There's not a lot of guys better than that we play against or in our league. Everything he does, he blocks shots. He's the leading shot blocker in the league. He gets steals. He gets his hands on passes. He can score inside with his back to the basket. He can face up, and he gets better, and he works. And
how'd you find out about him? Anybody in
particular?
Were you visiting at home at the time?
No, he is from Sharon. So
yes, he's from Sharon.
For people that don't know, I'm from the same hometown.
Yeah.
We used to go to the same playground growing up. He just went to that playground 40 years later. It was a little different. The grass was a little higher. Okay. No, the weeds. There was more weeds when he went. But be honest with you, I kind of knew a little bit about him. We don't go real aggressive after high school kids early for the most part, okay? Try to go through the season and define our needs a little better. And so I saw him in the summertime, and then my nephew said, you're sleeping on this Porterfield guy. He said, slippery rocks all over him. So I said, well, all right, I want to make sure I don't miss on him, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so if Slippery Rock didn't recruit him, I don't even know if we offered him early, okay? So I went up and watched him play and watched him practice and really liked him and said, okay, we want to get this kid. And, we end up signing him. thought about redshirting him his first year. He was sick for like a month or so when he first got here. Lost weight. We're not really sure what type of stomach issue it was, and really didn't see him in the plans a whole lot. And then he just evolved, and then he got thrown in there in December. And when Tommy got hurt, just was okay. And we went to Shippensburg. Matter of fact, we go to Shippensburg, and he's a young freshman at the time, and he got his tail kicked a little bit. Okay. And then 3 months later, we go back to Shippensburg, and he turned the tables.
Yeah,
so,
I remember that. Yeah.
So it's that growth that happens. Our guys have to understand you can get a lot better between now and the end of the year if you're going to put in the work.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about recruiting. I talked with Coach McConnell about it. You have a young man named Dolan Waldo from Bethel Park who made a commitment during the summer and had quite a few offers from what I read from D2 and next level certain area. Can you tell us about him a little bit? He had to overcome some sort of injury too, didn't he?
Yeah. Dolan's a very athletic forward, okay, who has a good feel for the game, good passer, good IQ, understands the game. He's physically, he's going to take him some time, but I think he's got a really good future ahead of him. Solid, really good student, really good family, the whole thing. So we're lucky that he had as strong his interest that he did at IUP at the time. He had some Division I interest. I don't think any scholarships offers though, but we got him early. We got him before the summertime, actually, before he got the exposure.
Okay.
We kind of felt like we stole one early, and then end of summer he was playing outside court and he just went up for an alley-oop dunk, came down and just destroyed his ankle. I don't know how else to put it. It was very, very bad. Had a very bad ankle operation, and he's playing now. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go see him play tomorrow, and his recovery was probably like a month and a half ahead of schedule. They didn't expect him to play January, and he started playing a month, so probably a month ahead of schedule.
Wow.
So he's worked. He was very diligent about his rehab, and just speaks well to his work ethic and his commitment. He's a disciplined kid. He's a hungry kid. He's a disciplined kid. And I think he's got a real bright future.
Sounds like a good fit for IUP. Before we close it off, fans would like, how is Shondell doing?
Shondell's always doing good because Shondell has
that smile, man.
Well, he has a smile and he has a good peace of mind. I think his faith has a lot to do with that. He's very confident that he's not in this alone. Okay, and that it's just a detour. It's not a final statement on him. Okay, it's just a detour where he's going to grow from it. He's going to grow from it. He's going to come out in a better place, and it's so that positivity that he has, I think helps him be in a better place. He was in a lot of pain the first couple of days after surgery, but spoke to him yesterday right before the game, and he was the pain was feeling a lot better, and we're looking to having him back and having him around.
Oh yeah, good.
And he'll put in a good. It wasn't any worse than what they thought it was. Sometimes you go in and it could be. So that was good news. And he'll put in a lot of work. And I think when he's around, he'll bring energy to the club and continue to help lead us.
Yeah. Well, we all pray
Thanks
for him.
asking.
Absolutely. Fans certainly want to know too. Well, just want to remind fans, next Monday we won't be here because after Christmas weekend, we will be back in 2 weeks. On the first Monday in January and continue right through the basketball season as you get ready for Pitt Greensburg on
UPG.
New Year's Eve afternoon, 2 o'clock.
You got it, Jack. They're
freebie.
Well, yeah,
Is it?
I believe so. Yeah, it's free. We got Tommy Arbuckle coming back to town. Okay, another Indiana High. He played with Carlos.
Yeah, I did a few games when they played together.
And Mark's just been terrific supporter of our program in a lot of ways, in the car program, but not only that, he's just always been there if we need anything. Okay, so we're happy to reward Tommy. We're happy to give back to Mark to say thank you. They're taking the place of the replacement in the Thanksgiving game. I think it's free to everybody with an iCard
or
a ticket from the from the Salem game that we were supposed to have.
Yeah, this is the Indiana game, as we're calling it, I guess. Is
Yeah,
what,
yeah. And it's in the afternoon, so it's not going to cramp anybody's style that evening. You still have time to go to dinner afterwards. Moved it up just an hour to be prior to other afternoon games. And we get back like 3-4 days earlier, so it allows us to kind of work into something and get back to rhythm a lot until we have another, I think, a week before we get into a crazy schedule. We got like 6 games in like 12 days or something like that. But, really, we turned something that wasn't very good into something that was good, and that's what. We're happy, and I'm sure the Arbuckles feel blessed by that, and we're glad to make that work. So.
All right, very good, Coach. All the best to you and your family for Christmas.
Yeah,
we'll do the same, and I'll see you.
Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas to all the Hawk Nation and everybody out there, and Jesus is the reason for the season. So want to just keep that, wish you very well, and all his blessings continue to bless every one of us. And, I know our program's been certainly been blessed.
Yeah, well said. Well, we want to thank John Smathers and Carrie West and Mr. Mark Burdig and the whole crew. And we will be back with you in 2 weeks. And we'll talk more Hawk Talk, so come on out and enjoy your Christmas, please. For the coaches and for everybody else, Jack Benedict, have a Major League evening, okay? All right. Yep, got it. Thank you, Danielle.